Hey friends, it's Christina. Welcome. Oh my god, my cat, she will not stop. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back, and welcome to this video, which is going to be a meal prepping video. I have a lot of thoughts on meal prepping that I will save for the end of the video, but for the sake of time and being quick, which is what meal prepping is all about, I will keep it short and just tell you what you need to know, and it is that I am making 4 different meals, 2 servings each for 8 meals total. The first meal is going to be a tofu taco bowl with sweet potato. The second meal is going to be a Mediterranean-inspired chickpea quinoa salad. The third meal is going to be basically the same thing, Mediterranean chickpea Mediterranean inspired pasta salad. And then the fourth meal is going to be a quesadilla using that same tofu filling. So let's get to the food. So for the start of our meal prep, we're starting off with the thing that takes the longest to cook, and that is our sweet potato that we're going to use for our tofu taco bowl. So I'm just peeling the sweet potato, and I'm utilizing the method of using a trash bowl for this meal prep. It's not something I do often because, you know, it's an extra dish and I just hate doing dishes, but for the sake of time, I think it's helpful for this. So, yep, I put the potato peels in the trash bowl and then I cut up my potato. So normally I cut them a little bit bigger than what I'm going to cut for the meal prep, but for the sake of time, I cut them a little bit smaller than usual so that way they would take shorter to cook. So I had originally thought I would use 2 sweet potatoes, but the first sweet potato was so ginormous that I only ended up using 1. And I'm showing here that I separate it into 4 servings, which is how many servings I need it for, just to make sure that that many potatoes is enough. So then after I have my potatoes all cubed up, I add them to a lined sheet pan, and I do some salt, pepper, smoked paprika, and then I'm going to oil it. And I'm going to cook it at 425 degrees and basically until it's crispy. I think roughly 45 minutes or so. If you didn't have sweet potato, regular potatoes would be good for this. Cauliflower would be good for this. Any like starchy vegetable would be good. Carrots even. And then also, if you didn't want to use oil, sweet potatoes are pretty good dry roasted, so you could also avoid the oil as well. And you can place the sweet potatoes anywhere in the oven, really, top or bottom rack. Just make sure there's enough room to have 2 items in your oven because we'll be using it again later. So then the next step is to cut up my veggies for the 2 salads I'm making, the Mediterranean chickpea salad and then the pasta chickpea salad. So they're basically going to be the same salad, but one's going to have quinoa, one's going to have pasta, and they'll have slightly different dressings. But the same things they'll have is cucumbers, tomatoes, red onions, and chickpeas. So here I am doing the same method with my cucumbers, just making sure I have enough. So for this recipe, I used 1.5 cucumbers for 4 servings. And I love these 2 recipes to make them together because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add all the vegetables to this one giant bowl. And it's going to be so colorful by the end, and it's just like very aesthetically pleasing to like see all these colors and do the chopping. And you don't need any skills, I'm just roughly chopping everything. So in that clip, I just added some Roma tomatoes to my bowl. I actually prefer cherry tomatoes in this, but I wanted to save a little money, and the Roma tomatoes were cheaper when I was out grocery shopping. So Roma tomatoes it is. Then I add my red onion. Do this at your own preference. I mean, I'm bringing this to work, so and I'm eating it for lunch, so I don't want too much red onion in mine because then I gotta sit with that all day. But I like it in there. It adds some nice flavor. If you ever want to kind of make my cat's meowing, your red onion less, oniony, what you can do is you could dice it up and then add it to cold water and let that sit in the cold water for 10 minutes or so, and then drain it and add it, and that cuts some of that, strong onion flavor. So I added some onion to the salad, and then I also added some tomato and onion to a Tupperware, and that's going to be used as like a salsa for the tofu taco bowl. bowl. And then my next step is to add some lettuce. I forgot to say that both the pasta salad and the quinoa salad will have romaine lettuce in it. This is like one of the only salads I like romaine lettuce in. I am purely like a spinach, kale, arugula, spring greens. Like, I pretty much prefer any other green over romaine lettuce, but romaine lettuce tastes very good in this. Oh, I do prefer romaine over iceberg, though I cannot eat iceberg. Anyway, next step. It's going to be to do our chickpeas. So I add these chickpeas in a cast iron skillet. Highly recommend adding it to a pan that you can cook on the stovetop and the oven, because that'll come in to play later. But if you don't have that, that's fine too. Just add it to any pan that you could add it to the oven. And I just salted, peppered it, and oiled it, not onioned it, oiled it, and added that to the oven with the sweet potato. And we're on to the next phase already. So there's just a half a cup of quinoa getting added with however much water is needed to cook quinoa. I just did the package instructions. Then I'm draining some black beans, and that's just 1 can of black beans. This is going to be for the tofu taco bowl. And then after I do the black beans, I'm going to also add some corn, drain and rinse that as well. This clip is making me realize I didn't say how many chickpeas I added before. So I did 2 cans of chickpeas for 4 servings before. So I just let that hang out in the colander after I drained and rinsed, and now I'm on to my tofu. So that's just pressed tofu. Ignore how uneven it is. That's just because how I press it always presses it unevenly. But I just cubed it up, and then by then my pasta water was boiling, so I added some chickpea pasta. Feel free to add whatever kind of pasta you like. And things are like really moving along at this point. Not gonna lie, this is when I started feeling the chaos of it all. But I stuck with it. So after I scooped my chickpeas out, I put my beans and corn in the cast iron skillet, and I didn't show it, but I seasoned them with adobo, smoked paprika, salt and pepper, I think maybe some like garlic powder and onion powder. And by the time I did that, my pasta was ready to drain. And so then we're doing the tofu. If you saw my first what I eat in a week video, this is pretty much how I always do my tofu. Just some cornstarch, salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, and then I did some more smoked paprika. Was just really feeling smoked paprika this night. And then I just tossed my tofu in the cornstarch. So then in my first what I eat in a week video, I then air fried it, but I just like wanted this process to be over with at this point, and I didn't think air frying it like at this point in time would save me any time, and it would be more dishes. So what I did is I moved all my corn and beans to the side, and I just added my tofu to the cast iron, and I pan fried it. So this method will get the tofu pretty crispy, but it'll only get the tofu as crispy as you allow it. Like, you really need to give the tofu room to fry on all sides, which you can kind of see I was crowding my pan a bit. So like, it got crispy, but not all the way crispy the way it would in an air fryer. Just throwing that out there. I still thought it was delicious. As you can see, it still gets golden. But yeah, if you want to pan fry it and want it to get just as crispy as it would in an air fryer, you need to give it a little bit more room, and you need to let it go for longer than how long I let it go. I think I only did like a minute or 2 on each side. Also, throwing it out there, this cornstarch method for cooking the tofu also works perfectly fine if you want to bake it in the oven. So if you had already done your cornstarch on the tofu, another option would be to maybe throw the tofu in the oven around the same time that you throw the chickpeas in and let that go for like 20 minutes or so, or even like 40 minutes, as long as the sweet potatoes, if you want it really crispy. I think that would be really good as well. I kind of wish I had thought about that, to be honest. But anyway, here we are. After everything was seasoned and cooked the way I liked it, I added it to my Tupperware. So half of it went into 2 Tupperwares, so a fourth of it, aka 1 serving in each Tupperware, or 2 Tupperwares for the 2 tofu taco bowls I made. And now we're on to the assembling of the rest of it. So showing you how I do 1 serving of the Mediterranean quinoa chickpea salad, I took some of that romaine lettuce out of that big salad bowl, and then I added my quinoa on top of it. Preferably maybe you should have your quinoa more cooled than I have it, but so it doesn't wilt the lettuce. But guys, like I said, I just wanted this to be over. So after the quinoa was added to the lettuce, I went in and just found all the other veggies I could find out of that bowl and topped it on the salad. And then time for those delicious chickpeas. So I added 1/4 of my chickpeas, which is half a can of chickpeas each, to my salads, and that was it for the night. I will explain how I do the dressings and some more toppings later in the video for that salad. And then what I did with the rest of my chickpeas is I just added it to that huge salad bowl, and that was the assembling of both of my salads, 2 different meals, 4 servings. And wait, I am a liar because the pasta's not in that salad bowl yet. So actually what was next is me adding the pasta. Even me narrating this video, I'm so ready to be done. Now here we go with the chickpea pasta. And that was I want to say 2 servings of chickpea pasta that I put in this salad. So 2 servings of pasta for 2 servings of salad. And yeah, quite a bit of protein between the chickpea pasta and the chickpeas itself. Olives I heard would be really good in this, but I don't like olives, so that's why I didn't add it. Alright, so I just finished up meal prepping. It took an hour and a half for 4 different types of lunches, 8 meals total. So let me walk you through kind of, I don't want to say the finished product because there's a couple of things that I need to do day of, which I'll talk about, but like the finished product more or less. Alright, let me get a nice angle here. So in no particular order, we have the tofu taco bowl. So it is corn, crispy tofu, sweet potato, and black beans, seasoned very heavily. And then day of, when I'm gonna take it to work with me, I'll top it with some of that tomato, red onion salsa, some hot sauce, maybe like a chipotle ranch sauce. I have some vegan cheese, maybe some vegan cheese. You know, make it exciting. It's all about the toppings. So then next up is this Mediterranean chickpea salad. There's a lot of layers to this. So on top we got chickpeas, cucumber, tomato, red onion, and then in the middle there's quinoa, and then all sitting on romaine lettuce. So then day of, I'm going to crush up some almonds and put some almonds on top, as well as the dressing. It's going to be a lemon mustard, like maple syrup dressing. This is amazing with vegan feta, if you have vegan feta. I didn't pick up any this week. Alright, so then using the same ingredients pretty much as the chickpea salad, instead of quinoa, we have chickpea pasta and chickpeas still. So it's like chickpea squared. And so this is for 2 servings. So day of, I'm going to use that same lemon mustard dressing, and then I'm going to mix it with some tahini, pour it on top of this, zhuzh it all around, put it in some Tupperware, and take it to work. Maybe some almonds too in this, not sure yet. Depends how I'm feeling that day. Then, last but not least, is just what's left of the tofu taco bowl mixture. But what I plan to do with this is day of, I'm going to put it on a quesadilla with some chipotle ranch and vegan cheese. And, wait, I think I gave it away. I'm going to put it on a tortilla. Not a quesadilla. I'm going to put it on a tortilla to make a quesadilla. And that's the last lunch of the 4. So, as I said, it took an hour and a half to do all that. Pretty minimal dishes, I'll say. We got That's, we got a cutting board, a colander, the trash bowl, and then the cast iron and the 2 pots for the quinoa and the pasta. And yeah, like I said, it's 8 meals, so not too shabby. Future Christina here, or current Christina, and you are watching past Christina, however you want to think about it. What is time? But thank you for watching this video. It means so much to me. I really do appreciate it. I would really love to hear your thoughts on this one. Meal prepping is something I personally feel very divided on. The nature of it makes it so you're not eating the food at its freshest. It's like, to me, almost like overly planning. Like, for instance, like when I decided I wanted to eat all these meals, like they sounded so good, and then like I ended up eating like the pasta salad on a day where it was like 32 degrees outside, and it was kind of just like, I wanted soup that day. I will say though, the way I did it in this video I think is one of the better ways to do it, where you're not just making 4 of the same meal for the week, because like, who wants to do that? That's not for me. We're in 2022 now. I think we could do better than that. But so I did like that aspect of what I did for my own meal prepping, having 4 different meals, even if they were slightly similar. I also do think it is very affordable, so I can see why people are attracted to that aspect of it. I think personally what I like for myself is to just, whatever I'm making, and you can kind of see these in like my what I eat in a week videos, is like I like to just make double of something, or even like triple stuff that has like 6 serving recipes, and then that way you get lunch for the next day. After you make it your dinner, you might even have an extra serving that is still there by the weekend, like stuff like that. I think that to me is just much more preferable, but everyone does them. Everyone has their own preference. I wanted to try to give meal prep another shot, and I didn't hate it, but I don't think you'll be seeing a video like this from me in a while. If you did like it though, let me know. Like, I mean, if you liked it, I'll make another one, and I think I can only improve. I don't think I can go downhill. Maybe that's me being optimistic. Alright, enough rambling. I always like just talk way too much in these outros and intros, but if you liked, please like and subscribe. I'm realizing I think I should be telling people to like hit a bell or something for like notifications. Do that too, so even if you are subscribed, like, you don't miss a video that I post. Again, so happy you watched. Until next time, bye.